Okay, we'll open up questions.
Paige, how did it feel to be out there in front of all those fans and have a night like you did?
Felt great. Just to play like that as a team, and obviously that environment is special to me. But to be able to play like that as a team and put a full 40 minutes together and come out with the win and stay connected throughout the entire game, there's definitely stuff we need to improve and clean up on. But to put it together like that, it felt good to be out there.
You had a lot of success in mid-range tonight. Just what were some of the things that helped you get into a rhythm?
Just taking what the defense was giving me. My teammates did a great job of setting screens, getting me open, creating rhythm and flow, and letting me get to my spots. And so, again, when we share the ball like that, change sides of the floor, puts pressure on the defense, and it creates a lot of more open looks for us.
Maddy, you've seen Paige play like this. You're a couple of years at Villanova playing against her. What was it like having her on your team this time and doing it? And what difference is it in your team when she's playing like that?
Well, it's definitely better playing with her than it is against her. But obviously, she's just such a great teammate, and not only is she a great basketball player, but the way she really makes her teammates around her better. So I'm happy to be able to play with her.
Paige, same question for you about Maddy. What's it like to compete alongside her in first game back at home again?
Yeah, we're very grateful that being here at Mohegan, we're competing together instead of against each other this time. So just being able to learn and grow and help each other out. I know she's helped me, and we want to continue to lead from where we are, even though we're younger players on the team. But to have that same mindset, come from great programs in the Big East, we sort of play the same and have that mutual understanding on the court. So it's just been great to build that chemistry with her.
Paige, to get your first win under your belt, usually, obviously, you kind of usually take 4 games to do that. To get your first win under your belt, your first pro win, what are you going to remember about it? What are you going to remember about this night, just in the context of it being the first one?
I think I'll remember the most probably 26 assists on 37 shots, and how we played together as a team, and how unselfish we were, and how much we looked like a team, and that reflected in the numbers that way.
For Coach, this was a very explosive offensive performance. Just a lot of things Paige was just talking about with the flow. Just what stood out to you about it?
Yeah, I think contributions from the top down, from everybody, right? Maddy, Kyla, Zaya, Spark off the bench, and then in that third quarter, we got going. Paige was pretty consistent throughout there. I thought Dejanay, I just thought everybody contributed, and that's what we're after is, a balance of where everyone's hunting offense and making simple plays. And I thought you saw some of that today. And I just love that we ran in transition. We had a bunch of leak outs, rim runs, so we just were continuing to put pressure on them nonstop.
Coach, you talk about getting your first run?
Again, I more than anything, I just felt a sigh of relief for them. It's frustrating, right? And we're doing lots of good things, and we couldn't get over the hump. So now we can put that behind us and continue to focus on the big picture of what we're trying to do. But it's cool to be back in Connecticut and to be able to do it with so many familiar faces. Just grateful to be here and for the opportunity to be able to be with this group and take it one day at a time.
Paige, can you remember, have you ever lost 4 games in a row at any point in your career? AAU, high school, Pee-wee? CYO at some point?
I can't remember, but there's no time like the present. I don't know. Not really. I've never really reflected on that. Probably wouldn't want to. Just want to be where we are today.
Paige, one of the loudest crowd reactions from the game was when you blocked Real Hartley and then ended up with the layup at the other end. Can you take us through that play?
Yeah, I don't remember. I think we had a good trap on Mabry and forced her into a baseline drive, and we were trying to rotate and create scrum out of that. So we were just flying around trying to make things tough for her, and then we just made a play, got out, got a contest, and then Reek made a great pass in transition, and we executed in transition. So I thought it was a beautiful execution on both sides of the ball.
Coach, after 4 games and now tonight, what have you learned about what this team needs to look like, or what what needs to happen for this team to be successful?
Yeah, that we're a team. That there's just, we have lots of tools and lots of versatility, and it might not look the same every night. So I'm just continuing to preach that and encourage everyone to be ready, because there's just so many different ways you can go with some of the combinations and the lineups. And so the more we can buy into that, and not my night, your night, our night, ultimately, the more success we're going to have. So just liked how connected we were tonight, and we're going to continue to build off that.
Paige, you were not the only one making a return to Connecticut. Ty Harris, as well as Susan and Carrington, were to make their returns to the Sun today and to Connecticut. Got Dejanay going early with a fast break transition bucket for the game, and then early three. Was there a game plan for you personally as like a point guard to help out some of your teammates that are returning to Connecticut, or were you just seeing the play?
No, just seeing the play, what that calls for. I think they did a really good job getting out in transition, even just not getting something in the early action, but posting up and using her size to her advantage in transition. So she just did a really good job of hunting out transition buckets early, and then she knocked a couple down from three. So she was just a great spark tonight, as she always is with her energy and effort. So that's consistent, not just in Connecticut.
Paige, you said pregame you weren't sure anyone was coming. How surprised were you when they were teammates were yelling at you at halftime as you're warming up there?
Yeah, they're great. I love them. Just to have their support and have them here, just to be here, because I know they're a huge part of my story and me even getting here to be here at this stage of my career. So just extremely grateful for the support. I love them to pieces. So just to have them here means everything to me.
Paige, different uniform, with the familiarity in this place, how much does that help you know the lighting, the background, everything? How does that help you here in this place, just how comfortable you are?
Honestly, I don't ever think about that at all. I don't think I've ever lost here, so I was trying to carry that into tonight.
Coach, Isaiah provided a spark off the bench. Just what were some of the things maybe outside of the games that fans can see or can't see that gave you confidence to put her, in that situation? And what did you like about her performance?
Yeah, she is just committed, and it's early, and she hasn't had an opportunity yet, but she is there, putting in the work, putting in the extra work. And so when I see that as a coach, in practice, going hard. It felt right, and then she made the most of it, and that's what she does. The kid can put the ball in the hoop, and so just really excited for her, and hopefully that gives her even more confidence, and we'll continue to find opportunities for her to have an impact.
Coach, obviously you chose Paige for a reason, but is there anything that you've seen in these 5 games that maybe has exceeded even your expectations of her?
Yeah, I just think it's her intentionality in building and establishing relationships with everyone on the team and wanting to be a leader as a rookie. So I've just been really impressed by her, intentionality of knowing that she can make a difference from where she is right now in her own way.
Dorothy, go ahead. Dorothy, we're not hearing you. Can you try again? All right, we'll try one person.
Coach, Tiara has provided a very positive impact, like plus minus wise, and just from what you can see on the floor as well. Just what have you seen from her as an interior presence?
Yeah, great defensive presence, cleans up the boards, and just clears up space there in the paint. And then I've just appreciated her consistency getting up and down the floor, and getting back on D, out on offense, and even last game had a couple rim runs. Now she's getting up the floor, getting us into actions, even getting more and more comfortable being on the perimeter, and then finding her way back to the block. So couldn't be happier with Tiara's approach and her impact off the bench right now.
Paige, when you see what Tina is able to do at age 36, what is your take on that? Does that really impress you? Do you kind of marvel that she has been doing this as long as she has?
Yeah, I think it just speaks to her approach and her work ethic to be able to still do this night in, night out, and what she does in the off season to prepare her body for it. And I know Tina personally from UConn and got to know her a little bit, so I know how much she loves the game and just wants to continue to play it as long as she can. And her shot is unblockable, and it's very, like, she can tell she's working extremely hard at it, because every time like it goes up, you think it's going in, and so that can last a long time in this league. So she's just been consistent in who she is since she came in the league, and so to be able to sustain it that long is really impressive.
Dorothy, we'll try it again. Not hearing you again. Might be having some technical issues. We'll stick with in person. Anybody else in person?
What was it like, competing against Olivia, your former teammate, and Bria, and seeing your whole UConn family?
Yeah, it was funny. We were at the free throw line, and I was going to fill the position, and Liv stuck her hand out like she was about to high five me. We just laughed about it. It's like muscle memory. Just being connected with them for so long. I know Bria and her son extremely well too, as I talked about. I know Tina, so just competing, I feel like is the best sign of respect and going at each other tonight. And so just to be able to share the floor with them, knowing how much we've done at UConn, me and Liv specifically, that's like my sister. So it's really great to compete against them and just share that court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.